All right, hey, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, want to give all honor, praises, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rechah HaKodash. Double honors due to the apostles, the bishops, the elders, the great millstone who rule well, and peace and salutations to the Lord's elect. This is the brother Yeshaya, and this video is going to be about health, because, hold on. All right. Yeah, this video is gonna be about health, man, because it's somewhat overlooked, because of everything that we're going through. All right, we're in the worst case scenario. Everywhere you turn, there's a poison. The food is tainted. Okay, and hey, there's nothing we can do about it. Okay. Hey, the Lord said that He will send us. Okay, let's get that really fast. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 4 and verse 13. I'm gonna start at 10. Ezekiel 4 and 10. And thy meat which thou shalt eat shall be by weight 20 shekels a day. From time to time shalt thou eat it. Thou shalt drink also water by measure, the sixth part of a hin. From time to time shalt thou drink. And thou shalt eat it as barley cakes. And thou shalt bake it with dung that cometh out of men in their sight. And the Lord Yahweh said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread amongst the Gentiles, whither I will drive them. So obviously we're on the western side of the world in America, Babylon the Great, okay? The eighth beast, or that little horn, And everything 144, hey, call Allah Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah. But everything is tainted, man. But the thing is, we can't just give up. All right, we can't just be like, okay, well, there's stuff in here, and okay, and I know, of course, organic it is a little harder to buy because it's a little bit more expensive. You don't know if it's organic or not, but at the same time, we should at least try. Okay, we should at least put effort into our diet, into our meat. Like the scriptures say. A righteous man basically regardeth his life in meat, okay, which I will get later. But yeah, even though the Lord gives us the bread of adversity, yeah, just a joke. But anyway, even though we're in this worst case scenario, the Lord still has a way out, or with the temptation, a way out. Okay, we don't have to pick up Doritos. Okay, they got plant-based type of snacks. You can make your own snacks. I prefer cooking for the most part. Of course, I still eat out every now and again, but for the most part, I cook. And I've been seeing differences in my health. Eating more, greens, more fruit, drinking more water is all conducive to the body. Even though we're in this worst case scenario, the Lord still gives us a way out. So going back to the book of Sirach, a lot of these people are really sick, man. All right, the majority of people are sick because they don't have care for their diet or their meat. They eat anything, especially down here in the South, man. People eat turtles, people eat all type of abomination, raccoon, and wonder why they're on 18 different type of medicines with the eyes bulging out in bags and under their eyes, and diabetes and everything like that. All right, because we as a people, we have guidelines that Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah has set up via the law, statutes, and commandments. Okay, of course we can't follow them all to the T. We're not supposed to, and that's where Yahweh Shah comes in. But at the same time, we're supposed to follow them to the best of our ability. Right, Sirach 30 and verse 15. I'm gonna start at verse 14. Better is the poor being sound and strong of constitution than a rich man that is afflicted in his body. That's right. So it's better, one of the elders brought this out a little while ago. When you see, especially up top in New York, you will see like older men. They're doing pull-ups, they're doing their push-ups, they're doing their calisthenics. Not necessarily, and I'm not calling them bums, but some of them be on the street, but they're in good health. Okay. So, the scriptures say it's better to be poor and then, have somewhat good health about you than to be a rich man and to be, afflicted in your body. Like, look at that. I always bring this out as a example. But look at Stephen Hawking, that devil. right? The wheelchair bound devil, like he can't, lay with a woman. He can't even walk. Okay. But, he's somewhat renowned, somewhat famous, well, a person of renown in this world, but he's a paraplegic. So, hey, and that's why the Lord tells us, to really be thankful for our daily bread. Okay, we're not trying to be rich on this side, man. The riches are coming in the kingdom, but for our daily bread and for health. I pray for health, man, because hey, you can have millions of dollars, billions of dollars, but if you look at the Rothschilds and all them, they're having heart transplants and drinking blood and shit like that just to try to live longer, man. All right, just to try to survive. They're freezing themselves and just with hope of living forever, man. But hey, we're getting those new bodies soon. But while we're in this body right here, we need to take the best care of it as we can. Verse 15 again. Verse 15. Health and good estate of body are above all gold, and a strong body above infinite wealth. So, hey, a strong body, is above infinite wealth, man. If you have a strong body, and your mind is, about you, have your wits about you. Hey, the sky's the limit. Okay, you can go out and like the scriptures say, it's an easy thing on the sudden for the Lord to make a poor man rich. So if you got your health, hey man, just wait on the Lord and He'll do this and do that for you. But hey, if you don't have your health, man, hey, you can have all the money in the world, but you won't be able to enjoy it, man. All right, just imagine when you're sick. Like I hate being sick. That's one of my I hate being sick. And afflicted in my body. I'd rather take, spiritual things than physical things, which, that way every brother's lot is different, right? But, hey, we have the knowledge. We have the apothecaries, okay? The scriptures say to think the apothecary or, give graces or give honor to the apothecary, right? It's in one of these. Yeah. All right. So moving on, health and good estate of body are above all gold, and a strong body above infinite wealth. There is no riches above a sound body, and no joy above the joy of the heart. Death is better than a bitter life or continual sickness. So, hey, we are plagued as a people because of, the curses. But, hey, the curses are being lifted, and that cup is being pushed to these other nations, man. So with that comes effort. All right, we need to try to do better. We need to watch the way we eat, watch what we put in our bodies, less alcohol consumption, more exercise. Okay, physical exercise, man. All right, the scriptures say what? It profiteth little, but it does profiteth. A little to the Lord is a lot. Okay, these bodies are not our own, man. All right, we were bought with a price, so we're rentals right now. And when you get a rental car, hey, you try your best to not spill anything in it. You try to, keep it clean, keep it kosher, because what? If you bring that car back and it's in, bad shape, okay, hey, you're going to get a fine. You're going to get penalized. And what about these bodies right here? That's our rentals, man. Okay, doing the best that we can in this avatar that we have for the time being. All right, and then that makes your joy, your journey in this truth a little easier, because if you're afflicted in your body with everything that's going on the outside world being afflicted, hey man, that pressure ain't gonna get too much, man. So at least if you have your wits about you and your health about you, you'll be able to weather the storm and be able to do this and do that and have the energy to do this. First and foremost, to serve the Lord, okay? But maneuvering in your life as well. 1 Timothy 4:8. For bodily exercise profiteth little, but godliness is profitable unto all things, having promise of the life that now is and that which is to come. So, okay, we know that we're getting these bodies. All right, we know that the life to come is going to be eternal. We're not going to be subject to death. We're going to be like Yahushua, because he conquered death. Okay, we're not going to die, but right now we're subject to death. So we have to do what we have to do to, to live the best as we can. And we're not trying to be around here forever, but we're trying to, as long as we're here for the stay, we're trying to, just do the best we can within our bodies, man. All right, because hey, that mind, spirit, body connection is real. If you're inflicted in your body, your spirit is gonna take the brunt of it as well. Proverbs 7:1. My son, keep my words and lay up my commandments with thee. Keep my commandments and live, and my law as the apple of thine eye. So as we know, we can't follow all of the laws, statutes, and commandments perfectly. Okay, that's what Yahushua was set up for. Okay, to complete it. All right, to be that sacrificial lamb. Okay, to take away that part of the law, to fulfill it. Right, but there are still things that we can control. Okay, we can control not putting any abominations towards our mouth willingly, like pork and all these other abominations that when we read in the the books of the law, Deuteronomy. Okay, especially on what to eat and what not to eat. And the Lord didn't do that for any reason. He did that on purpose so that we can live, because our structure that the Lord set us up with, our DNA and everything like that, it is conducive, all right, or is synergetic to the lawful foods that the Lord created, man. Okay, and on the contrary, and Esau knows this too. That's why they put certain things in the food that are contrary to our DNA, to where you would have dis-ease or sickness, right? Putting all type of dyes and things like that. Hey, the scriptures say let me see if I can get that. The Lord have created medicines from the earth, and he that is wise would not abhor them. Okay, let's see. Yeah, that's the book of Sirach. I think it says something about the apothecary in it too. Sirach or Ecclesiasticus chapter 38, and the physician. Honor a physician with the honor due unto him, for the uses which ye may have of him. For the Lord hath created him. For of the Most High cometh healing, and he shall receive honor of the king. The skill of the physician shall lift up his head, and in the sight of great men he shall be in admiration. So we do have healers amongst Israel. Okay, we got certain brothers that are good with the certain the medicines, the herbs. Okay, elders and everything like that. And hey, we have that at our disposal. Okay, we can tap into that. So there really isn't any reason for us to be sickly or anything like that. We got, and first and foremost, prayer. Okay, but we got things that from the earth that will heal us, man. All right, we were created from the earth, so it would be conducive it would be only right that certain elements that are from the earth, they're within us. Okay, so and that's why what we take in chlorophyll, which is basically liquid sun or a physical representation that we can ingest of the sun. Okay, which is a powerful thing when you think about it. Verse 4: the Lord hath created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise would not abhor them. So there you go. All right, the Lord has created medicines up out of the earth. All right, so and we have those at our disposal, man. Okay. I think I'm done in that Proverbs chapter 7. Yep. So, hey, keep my commandments and live in my law as the apple of thine eye. So that's why, we have all of these ailments, because we don't, especially as a people, okay? I'm not talking about us, brothers, because we're trying to the best of our ability to, work on our bodies. But these people, man, they'll eat whatever, man. And it's going to carry over until when they use food as a weapon, okay? They're going to be willing to eat whatever, including each other. Sirach 37 and 30. For excess of meats bringeth sickness. I'm starting 29. Be not unsatiable, okay, or unsatisfied in any dainty thing, nor too greedy upon meats. So, have temperance, discipline. For excess of meats bringeth sickness, and surfeiting will turn into choler. And that choler goes into anger, but it's also goes to caloristic. So calories, what is it? Cholesterol, caloristic, yeah, cholesterol. But and it makes you angry when you're not in your right health or right state of mind, because your stomach is like your second mind, they like to say. Hey, you're gonna be angry. That's why people be killing each other over fast food and all type of bullshit, man. Because they're angry, they're full of choler. All right, verse 31. But surfeiting have many perish, but he that taketh heed prolongeth his life. So surfeiting, too much drinking, too much partying. Okay, we got to, especially us brothers getting up in age, we really have to watch our intake of things. Because we are in these chains of darkness, but that doesn't mean we just give up. All right. 2 Peter 2:4, for the Most High spared not the angels that sinned, but cast them down to hell, which hell is right here in this position that we're in right now. All right, America, Babylon the Great, and delivered them into chains of darkness to be reserved unto judgment. Okay, and I think it's book of Jude. It talks about the chains of darkness. Let's see. Yeah, this book, Jude chapter 1 and verse 6, and the angels was kept not their first estate, which I just read in 2 Peter 2:4. And the angels, those angels are talking about the Elohim, okay, or the first fruits, all right. And the angels were kept not their first estate, but left their own habitation. He have reserved an everlasting chains unto darkness, unto the judgment of the great day. So we have to be in this wicked flesh, okay, until the day that the Lord returns. But that doesn't mean give up, man. The Lord, you pray for it, okay, and actually try. The Lord will bless you with decent health, and that's a blessing nowadays. Especially, I'll be looking at the commercials they always dropping a new damn medicine. You know what I'm saying? And with crazy ass side effects, which is crazy. But anyway, Matthew 10:28. I'm ending with this. And fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell. And the reason why I brought that one out is because the elder apostle Gabar, he broke this down, which I can dig that breakdown basically of the Lord. He can put you in a body to where it's paraplegic, to where it's nothing but sickness and ailment, and that's hell all of your days, man. Okay, and that's the Lord. So, hey, we got to pray for decent health. Thank the Lord if we do have decent health, and not take it for granted just because we're in this truth that we're invincible, that we can eat anything. And that in actuality, the Lord actually has us under a scopeo or a brighter light because we know better. So, hey, Lord willing, this was exhortating, edifying, and hey, let's try to do better with our health, man. Giving our honor, praises, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Bashem Rakha double honors to the apostles, the elders, the great millstone. Peace, love, salutations, blessings to the Lord's elect out there. Until next time, shalom.